Yo, go get your Bud Crawford merch right now. This very moment, go get your Bud Crawford merch, because that performance was amazing. I've never seen domination on that level before, on that type of stage. Now we have to have we must have the conversation. Who's better, Crawford or Mayweather? Because with this feat, Crawford, dude, two-time undisputed champion in 2 different weight divisions, 3-time division champion, 40-0. Mayweather was 50-0, and his 50 came from Mayweather. I don't even think Crawford has to fight 10 more fights in order to be comparable to Mayweather, because Crawford did it the right way. He did it the right way. He was not scared to lose his O. He's a true fighter, a true dog. And I'm about to go, as soon as I stop, I'm going to go to the park and walk some of this champagne off. I went through 2 bottles of champagne last night and two steaks. I seared them off on the grill, seared the steaks off on the grill. I had my thyme. I had my my butter. I basted it. You know, I do steaks. I'm a steak connoisseur. I love steaks. And I had the, I think it's the Dennis Chaput champagne, 2 bottles, priced at like $50 each. That's the lowest price you're going to find those. Maybe not on the internet, but that's a different story. But Bud Crawford, dude. Bud Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford. In my opinion, better than Mayweather. And I was looking at Showbiz, because I follow Showbiz, the guy on YouTube, and he was saying that I don't know, man. I like Showbiz, but he had some pretty bad. This was a bad take for him. It was 100% a bad take. But everybody was counting Bud out. Everybody was counting Bud out. Everybody was throwing dirt on that man Bud name, in the sense of taking Errol Spence over Bud. In hindsight, Spence is a basic fighter, but he's great. He's great. I mean, his accomplishments are great. The people who he fought was great. But Bud is a super dog. I felt it in my soul during the press conference when Bud said, "Hey, y'all know I get active." That's what Bud said. He said, "I get active." I felt that in my soul. I was riding to that for 2 days. I was like, yeah, we getting active. Like Bo Mack said, work time. Work time. He worked him. And then Spence with the, "I'm going to break this dude." Everybody's saying, he's going to break him. He's bigger. He's going to... Dude, it's boxing. Okay? And Bud had the reach advantage. But that's irrelevant, dude. Because what Bud did to Spence is otherworldly. Dude, I was up, man. I'm happy for Bud. Go get y'all some Bud Crawford merch. I'm going to figure out what his website is, and I'm buying 10 t-shirts. I'm not doing the hats, if he got hats, but I'm getting the t-shirts. Because what we witnessed is greatness. Pure greatness. Pure greatness. No other way to describe that. And now it's time to give Bud his flowers. We got to give Bud his flowers, man. We have to give Bud his flowers. I'm going to pick this up later. What's up, guys? I'm back. I'm out of the car. Here at the park. But that fight was historical for Bud Crawford. 100% historical. And that's obvious. But in the fashion that Bud handled business is ridiculous to me. It's honestly otherworldly. And I'm still reeling off of that TKL. I'm still reeling off of it. But man, did he came and look, the entrance. He came out with Eminem. I thought it was Meek Mill at first. I couldn't hear the piano and all of that to Lose Yourself, but I thought it was Meek Mill. I'm like, oh, he got Meek Mill. This man came out to Eminem with the fishing net on. Like, it was over. In my head, I'm like, you can't come out to Eminem and nah, dog, you can't do that and lose. It's over with. Dunzo. Finished. Man, came out to the audacity of Bud Crawford. And then when you look at the press conference, the final press conference, Bud was like this. It was like trying to stay calm. It's like Bud had to suffer through all of the talk, all of the hype, all of the Spence gonna break you, knowing full well the type of fighter that he was in his own heart. Waiting, counting the moments, counting the seconds until he got into the ring. So, man, props to Bud. Hats off to Bud. I'm going to go get some merch today. I'm going to place my order today. Get that man his flowers. Came out to freaking Eminem. Lose Yourself. He had one shot. He didn't miss his chance to blow. Beautiful fight. Beautiful fight. And to all those people who were on the hype train for Errol Spence, I get it. How would you know? And I'm in Texas. I'm in Texas. So at first, when the fight was announced, I was kind of conflicted as to who I was going to be rocking with. But it's something about Bud, dog. It was something about Bud that I really took a liking to Bud when this fight was announced. But man, in the fashion that he did it in, I'm curious to see how Errol is going to handle getting whooped like that. I'm curious to see where he goes from here. And I'm also curious to see where Bud goes from here. Because, as I was stating earlier, in my opinion, Bud, top 5 all time. Obviously, he's the number 1 pound for pound fighter now. And I put Inoue at 2. But spectacular. We got to have that conversation. I want to see what the perspective of the people who think Mayweather had a better career is. And obviously Mayweather had the broken hands, and he had bad hands. So what he did, the way he was able to go out there and dissect his opponents, becoming 50, well, I'll say 49-0, the way he was able to do that is great. Not taking away anything from Mayweather, but Bud is a fighter's fighter. He is the embodiment of what boxing should be. Unlike these new guys, cherry pick was pretty much what Floyd did. The precedent that he set in boxing, cherry picking fights. And Bud did this at 35 years old, I think. 35 years old. Special. That man is special. Give him his flowers. I'm going to be on YouTube looking to see what people are saying about the fight, or more specifically about the outcome. But man, I definitely had to make this reaction video because Errol got destroyed. And I'm looking at Bud landing these jabs, crosses, the speed of his uppercuts. Dude, man, how could we not see it coming? How could we not see it coming? I don't think anybody saw the fashion in which Bud handled business. I don't think anybody predicted 3 knockdowns. A complete one-sided strangling with gloves on. Call that man OJ, man. Because I don't know. And when I was seeing how much blood was coming from the face of Spence, I was like, does Terence got loaded gloves or something? Or he just really that dog? He just really like that. And as the fight obviously got stopped and progressed and we saw the outcome, man, can't take anything away from Bud Crawford. And then people are saying, well, Spence is, a great fight, legendary fighter, Hall of Fame fighter. But is he though? After this loss, is he? I'm just asking. Cause Olympics. He got 3 of the 4 belts. He had 3 of the 4 belts. Not undisputed. Derrick James, all of that trash talk. Wow. I wonder how I want to see what Derrick James has to say. Because Derrick James was adamant. We got the better camp. Bo Mac, you fat. Cracking jokes on Bo Mac. Derrick James won Trainer of the Year. Hey, Bo Mac need Trainer of the Year next year. Coach of the Year. He need it. Mandatory. Give Bo Mac his flowers too. Because there was a lot of hate coming towards Bo Mac's way too. Oh, well, Terence has never really been hurt. And Bo Mac, we don't know if he can even coach when the cards are down and the tables are turned. You can't fault Bo Mac or Bud for not having displayed, because it's like, people were saying, Bo Mac can't coach. He doesn't have anything to say, no specific instructions when Terence gets hurt. Bro, Terence Crawford is I would say a generational talent, but that would be an understatement. Terence Crawford is in the conversation for one of the best boxers to ever lace up the gloves, tape up the gloves. So I didn't understand that perspective of how people were downing Bo Mac. And it's like, well, he didn't have to. Bud knows. Like, you don't get in the way of greatness. Because at the end of the day, Bud peeping it. Whenever Bud got hurt, Bud turned right back around and got them boys up out of there. Whoever it was. Did his job. Never had a close fight. So you can't hold that against Bo Mac. And you can't hold that against Terence Crawford. Or I should say held, because this was all pre-fight stuff that Derrick James was harping on, that the media was harping on. Everybody was riding Derrick James. Everybody was riding Errol Spence. And to go out in the fashion that Errol Spence went out and busted absolutely up, face lumped, to go out in a fashion like that is crazy. I want to see the blowback from this whole thing. I want to see what Derrick James got to say, what Errol Spence got to say. Jamel Charlo lost 25 thou wow. You know what I'm saying? Ryan, Anthony Joshua. I want to see what these guys got to say. All right. I'll talk to y'all later.